Hey guys.
Live from, oh, there you are. Are we going to do this together?
Let's do it.
Hey, let's.
All right. Hey, we are live from sunny California. We are the North American Hockey Authority. My name is Craig Campbell. This is presented by Today's California, and I am Craig Campbell with Today's California. I'm joined with Ed Heathouse. He is the AHL Coachella Valley Firebirds off-ice official, and we're also joined by our wonderful producer and engineer, Ed Charles McPike III. How you doing, Charles? Love seeing you guys today. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys had a great time out there in North America, and you two as well here in studio. Hey, Ed, what's going on? How are you guys doing? Let me know.
Good, man.
Sure,
Happy lost week between Christmas and New Year's. It's like the week that isn't. Who's open, who's closed, who's working, who's not. And yet here we are, working away like slaves. It's horrible.
You know, if you've never joined us,
couch when I'm done, so just I'm not going to be doing anything after this.
Hey guys, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is the way this works. We do multiple segments about hockey. The whole concept is to help elevate all of our hockey IQ as we kind of banter back and forth about different things. And of course, we always want to know where you guys are watching from. We love our fans. Please share this to your friends, and any comments that you'd like to make, please put them up here, and perhaps we'll actually put them on screen and have a little interaction with you. If you're interested in anything, whether you're watching it live or later, make sure you put those comments in and let us know where you're watching from, and we'll make sure to respond to each and every single one of those. Hey guys, why don't we just jump? What do you think about it? Should we just jump right in, or we want to banter a little bit? What's happening?
I don't know.
I think I'm excited. We've got a packed show today, and there's
then why don't we
a lot of good stuff coming, so let's hop into it.
Why don't we start right away, always with the rules segment. Always put the rules up first and then the fun later. And, of course, we usually use Peter Puck as our support and help throughout all of this. What do we got for us?
Thanks to our friends at Packed Advertising in Toronto, we're still allowed to use Peter Puck and his copyrighted material. He's gonna come in and teach us about the various types of shots in the first clip, starting with slap shot and wrist shot. Charlie, what you got for us?
All right, I got our first clip. Let's see, Peter Puck here. Ready to go, guys?
We have the slap shot. That's when a player raises his stick over his head and tees off. Yikes! Sending me at those speeds of over 100 miles an hour. Whoa! Personally, I prefer what is called the wrist shot. It's much quicker and more accurate than the slap shot. And easier on the old you-know-what.
Easier on the old you-know-what. Thanks, Peter.
I love the little waggle there. It almost looks like a golf shot on the wrist shot.
I wonder how long it took them to actually make those animations. You know, you think each one of those are cells, you know, and they're just making, painting, putting them together. You know, last week we had a comment. One of our fans asked if there was a Mrs. Puck. And, of course, I went to Ed right away, texted him, and he goes, of course there is. Tell me about
Penny
that.
Puck. It's Penny Puck.
Now, does she join in ever?
She does in the later episodes when the Peter Puck series was resurrected by Hockey Night in Canada in the early 2000s. That's when Penny was introduced. I wish we had a picture of her, but I
bet I can figure one out real quick. Keep talking.
I'm going through my wallet. I texted one to the group, I think.
Yeah, you did. So yeah, you have it in our group chat.
You can probably find it while Peter.
I'm getting there. Just give me a second.
Wait, bear with me. While Peter is teaching us about the different types of checking.
All right.
Hey, Peter. Why don't you teach us a little bit about some checking?
Some checking. Here we go.
Now for checking. Checking is guarding, covering, or limiting an opponent's movements and involves body contact. When this delicate art is practiced on defense, it's called back checking. And when done on offense, it's called forechecking. And when checking is practiced on me, like so, this is called sweep checking. How sweep it is. Hi, fella. It's a little hockey fun there. When a player uses his stick to poke me away from an opponent, oops, that's called poke checking. That's smart.
All right. Checking, huh?
So is sweep checking
check, poke check.
is sweep checking allowed? Right, of course.
Yeah, and it's most commonly seen by goaltenders on breakaways when a guy's coming in, if he's got his head down. Not unusual to see a sweep or a poke check come from the goaltender as he extends himself out trying to take that puck away.
And that's not allowed?
It is allowed.
Oh, that's what I figured. Yeah, right.
That's so much fun.
To sweep
Oh yeah.
or poke.
Yeah.
I can
Even
see
more.
you as a poker, as a goalkeeper. With the back of the guy's head.
That got the full smile.
Whoops.
It did. I'm sorry. I'm still grabbing this penny puck image.
Not a problem. We'll show her. We'll put her up there later. We'll keep you working for a bit. So are there any more rules segment? Did we get through our rules?
We got through the rules. One more thank you and shout out to Packed Advertising in Toronto. And for those of you looking for Peter Puck merchandise, www.peterpuck.ca.
Hey guys, we're right here in the Palm Springs, California area. You're watching the North American Hockey Authority with Ed Heathouse and Charles McPike. And my name is Craig Campbell with Today's California. Hey guys, sound off. Let us know where you're watching from. If you have any questions at all, please join in. We always love the interaction. Are we going to move on to what's going on today? History? Does history matter today, Ed?
You know what? As I was preparing a This Week in Hockey History, Craig, we created more history last week in the NHL than there was pertinent history to show. Last Wednesday night, on the 23rd of December, Connor Bedard, the rookie phenom generational talent in Chicago, a mere 18-year-old babe in the woods.
Oh, we're so excited. I wore my Chicago shirt today.
And Trevor Zegras from the Anaheim Ducks both scored Michigan goals in the same night. So I think we've got a clip that shows both those goals being scored.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, can you spin that platter for us?
Absolutely. We get to join in on this one, guys. So this one's going to show up right next to us.
Oh, nice.
You guys ready? Let's do this.
We've got an electrifying story from the NHL that's going to blow your mind. 2 Michigans in one night? Yes, you heard it right. Connor Bedard and Trevor Zegras each scored lacrosse-style goals. And we're diving into the magic behind these jaw-dropping moments. Just hours after Bedard's spectacular Michigan against the Blues, Zegras lit up the ice with his own version. It's like the NHL decided to treat us to a double feature of this unbelievable move. Bedard had us in awe, and now Zegras joins the party. Let's unpack the details of Zegras' return and his mind-blowing goal. After being sidelined for 20 games due to a lower body injury, Zegras makes a triumphant return. This goal marks just his second of the season.
Not bad, huh?
Unbelievable. Two Michigan goals in the exact same night.
I mean, have you ever seen that in real life, Ed?
I've never experienced it on the ice, and I've never seen one scored in person.
Oh boy!
But it's a hell of a move, and it's awfully fast. Go ahead, Craig.
I mean, it's just got to be so difficult to basically collect that puck, carry it with velocity and centrifuge or whatever it is to keep it on the stick, and then just throw it in. I mean, with absolutely, it's really spectacular to see and watch it at full speed like that.
I think that second one, I mean, Connor's is amazing, obviously, but Zegras, you can really see as he's coming around the back of the net how he slides that onto the tongue of the blade, and just like as you say, he keeps the weight at the blade so that the puck doesn't even move. I mean, that's unbelievable. But I do follow these people on the internet, on Instagram, that also do that, because apparently this has been around forever. And I mean, this would be another Ed question, like this move, whether or not it had a name before University of Michigan did it all those years ago. I've definitely heard a lot of kids from Canada talk about how they were doing this in the 80s with street ball. That sounds about right.
Well, and actually, Charlie, the reason it's called the Michigan is because on March 24th, 1996, Michigan's Mike Legg scored against the Minnesota Gophers in the NCAA hockey tournament, which, first off, go blue. And second off, Michigan won that NCAA tournament. I believe we have a clip of the original Mike Legg goal from 1996.
We do.
And this is how the goal got its name.
It's going to be in real-time speed. So I think I've also got one where we slowed it down so people can see what was going on.
Hey, before you put that up, real quick question for you. How is that not potentially high sticking when that stick gets up high up there next to the goalie's head? What's the rule there?
Okay, so two things come into play here, Craig. First off, high sticking or hitting the puck with a high stick is at the shoulders, and the net is only 4 feet high. So your stick isn't coming high enough to cause a high sticking issue. And the only other thing that could possibly cause that would be if you actually hit the goaltender in the head while you were trying to do it with your stick. And I can see it.
I mean, I could see that potentially happening as you're trying to slap it in there. And if the goalie's quick enough to move over, it might meet their face.
Well, Joey almost got there. Zagros put it off of Joey's shoulder.
Right.
If you saw that clip, it hit the shoulder, then went into the. So, I mean, he was right there.
Yeah, it just feels like, in that sense, it's fairly dangerous. So that makes it even more spectacular if you think about an execution.
Mm-hmm. Is there any issue with obviously that's a high risk maneuver. If he accidentally does touch the keeper, the tender with his stick, is that an automatic penalty, or is it only if he actually hits him in the face?
I think he'd have to hit him and have to hit him pretty hard for it to, because it's no different than the follow through on a shot in the slot if the goalie's down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The incidental contact happens all the time, and it's the referee's job to determine intent versus execution.
Got it.
But the beauty of all of this, though, is that Bedard, Zegras, and Mike Legg coming up, they did this at game speed. It's one thing if you're dorking around at practice and you got all the time in the world to mess with stuff, but to pull this off in an NHL game at game speed blows my mind.
Absolutely wild.
And let's look at this original clip of the Michigan and notice the confusion that the announcers have, because they have no idea how the puck ended up in the net.
Hey, quick shout out to Sheila. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Oh, Sheila.
All right, let's watch this Michigan at full speed.
Lafleur drags him down. Nothing called, and Michigan still scrambling. It's a goal. Michigan finally somehow got it in the net to tie the game.
I don't believe I saw what I think I just saw.
He says it perfectly. I don't believe I saw
what I think I saw.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I saw what I saw.
Right.
I don't even know if I was thinking what I saw that I thought I saw.
Well, it was. So, I mean, that one was pretty tight too. Yeah, he was back there. There was a lot more traffic around the net when he performed that than I think either Zegras or Bedard in the ones we just saw.
Yeah. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch that same thing in slow motion, and the announcers will figure it out while they watch it in slow motion. It's fun to watch the learning curve with these guys.
All right, here we go.
Watch this.
Oh, he just reaches around and stuffs it in the top.
Put it in.
Unbelievable.
That was an unbelievable goal by Mike Legg. Look at Legg hold that thing and put it up in the corner. That's something you do in practice. That's something you do.
Oh, that's just phenomenal, man. I see when you see it in slow motion, it's just brilliant. It's
Oh,
just so sneaky. It's just like, oh yeah, it's right here. Oh, I just dropped it over your shoulder. I
yeah.
love it.
Go blue.
Oh no.
Didn't you say they went on to win the championship that year?
They did. That was a semifinal game, and then they beat University of Colorado in the finals.
Okay. University of Colorado. You wouldn't think Colorado would be a big hockey state, but because
They have snow. They got tall mountains. They have winter.
The Avalanche.
They have Avalanche.
Yeah, I got it. And there's a big following for the Eagles.
So basically, now you all know why we call it the Michigan.
True.
There you go. I feel so much. I don't know about you, but the idea about elevating hockey IQ is happening. We're learning all kinds of things today, both about, rules. I mean, Peter's been helping us out. We've learned the Michigan, and it can happen twice in the same game. Was that what really happened in that one moment?
The same day, just two.
Yeah, same day. Unbelievable.
Two different games, but yeah.
Very unique experience. I mean, those goals are really spectacular. I think we should see more of them.
Some people
everybody but the goaltenders feel that way.
Yeah. Oh, there's our point-counterpoint.
Oh, is that where we're at now? Maybe we should just start right there with a
No, we're not there yet.
We're going to end the show now.
Yeah, forget the Firebirds segment. And, I don't know, Ed. I think that we have to come up with Ed's pet peeves. I mean, this has to be very important to us. It always is.
Well, I want to reserve this for a future peeve.
That's a good idea.
Because there are people in the NHL calling for this move to be made illegal. And there are former goaltenders who are retired who are actually saying anything that allows the point total on the scoreboard to go up and get the fans interested and the kids excited, we need more stuff like this. So it'll be a great counterpoint/point for another show.
It's not easy to say point counterpoint.
No, especially when you go the reverse order.
Well, that's true. We could get right into the Beak of the Week if you like. I mean, this might fit in perfectly for you.
Our Beak of the Week is Seguin and Scheifele, players on opposing teams, both have the exact same superstition that they need to be the last guy off the ice during warm-ups and between periods. And they've been playing against each other for so long, they each realize they have the same superstition. And so in this clip, they're both about to leave the ice, and they solve their differences in a very spectacular manner.
All right, we got that clip coming up right now, boys.
Already had a game. Yeah, they certainly have superstitions. I'm last off. No, you're last off. Okay, what do? Rock, paper, scissors. Don't know if I like Seguin's game here. He goes to rock a couple of times. Scheifele gets him in the end. Paper. See, now you're talking strategy for rock, paper, scissors.
It's just spectacular.
That's amazing.
Is that real? Is that a real clip?
Real.
Those two guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this a regular thing that these two guys do?
Yeah. They do it after warm-ups, and they do it every period in games in which they play because they've, as I said, they've faced each other so many times, and they realize that they each have the exact same superstition. And rather than be idiots about it, they found a really cool way to solve the issue, solve the battle.
So who's ahead in the battle? That's what I want to know. What's the count?
I don't think they count like that.
Oh, there has to be an official count. I'm sure. I bet you that both of them know who's ahead.
What's the count? 1 rock, paper, scissors. 2 rock, paper, scissors.
Like who's winning? Not 1, 2, 3. Shoot.
No, I got you.
Although there's rules about that too. There's a lot of
play each other over the season. So like one's on the Stars, the other one's on is it the Mapes?
I think it's Winnipeg.
Winnipeg? Okay, well, yes. So they probably only see each other like 5-6 times a year, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
But they've talked about it during warmups.
Yeah. So if you can figure, maybe we should give that a look because it wouldn't be high. Like it's not like baseball.
I wonder if there's payoff, if there's a little money on the line or, there's got to be more than just the feeling of, I wrap paper around your rock. You know what I mean? There's got to be more to it.
Knowing NHL players, there is something
I heard from you.
We're all talking at each other. I miss both of you.
Oh, man. Yeah, I miss you guys, too. We'll need to do next week in studio.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of a different dynamic, as you're looking into the screen and watching each other. But it's also nice to get a little extra sleep and a little more comfort at home sometimes, right? Although I really miss showing up, Ed, watching them get dressed, and all the personal things.
Exactly how much of
when we show up
do you watch, Craig?
Now he just leaves the door open, which I feel a lot better about.
Full body show. God.
So
hey guys,
it's time to move on to Firebird talk. What do you say?
Hey guys, put your comments in the comments, please. Let us know where you're watching from. You are watching the North American Hockey Authority. I'm Craig Campbell with Today's California. I got Ed Heathouse here, the AHL off-ice official, with us, giving us all of the information and rules. And of course, we got Charlie behind the engineer board, moving us around, helping us out, giving you a little bit of a salute there. Appreciate it. It's so much fun to have you guys here. And I think we're going to continue on. What was it, the Firebird segment that we were thinking about putting up next?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time to talk about the weekend review and what's coming up.
Well, that's good. What's coming up is better than the weekend review as it comes to the Firebirds. Of course, unfortunately, just before Christmas, I had the opportunity to shoot and go out there. And of course, Ed, you were there as well, working the game. And once again, we get down into overtime. Fourth time, I believe, that we've been in overtime. And unfortunately, 39 seconds later, it was over. And unfortunately, the Firebirds lose 2-1. They lose in overtime. They get the point, but unfortunately, another loss at home. Very disappointing, very challenging. The fans are hanging in there. They're rooting and they're watching, but there's also a lot of communication going on outside in the community of what is going on with the Firebirds at home.
Yeah.
We had such a blessed year last year. Nothing short of a deep playoff run is going to make people happy. And the home woes are definitely an issue to be considered. I go back to the point that we're the only rink in North America on the pro, college, junior level that screws up player introductions. That was my peeve the other week. The starting goaltender is actually introduced last. He's the last guy to touch the ice for the home team. That's so wrong. And the hockey gods have been angered.
You mentioned this, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been difficult a little bit there. But, we had some upside. We had the teddy bear toss, of course, the first goal that we score at home. The Bears get tossed out there, and, of course, they're collected for the 29 Palms, the Marine base there, our Sheriff's Department, I believe, also the Fire Department. Yeah, and we were talking about this beforehand. I think the record is owned by Hershey, the AHL affiliate Hershey. How many, was it 60,000 was the record, the world record?
67,000 and change.
Wow. And we pulled off, I think, 26,000 is what you were telling us, a little bit larger.
27.
Yeah, but we almost doubled it, although I understand that there's also corporate sponsorship that came in for us. We had 10,000 actually of the Bears donated by, do you remember, Ed?
PetSmart.
Petco. Petco
Oh,
or
Petco.
PetSmart.
There you go.
One of the
Petco.
two.
One of the two. There you go. So
Petco or PetSmart. You both get the advertising today because I don't know which one of them y'all are.
everybody's in anticipation of the teddy bear toss. Do you happen to have a clip that you could throw up there? We could take a look real fast.
I do. Even before that, remember we were talking about Penny Puck?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
happen to have a picture of her for us.
Look at Charlie working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can see her
Oh,
with
there
her
she is.
on the left-hand side and Penny on the right.
That's so
Yep.
cute. Look at her. Look at I love
The
the
little bow.
yeah, there you go. The coloring. You know what? I bet she'd be pretty good doing some speaking. Does she actually do a few of the spots at some point?
I will commit to having a spot for you next week to start off the new year.
With Penny?
With Penny.
I'm so excited.
Find it.
Guys, you got to come back next Wednesday at noon so that you can meet Penny.
Penny.
The better of the
Please
two, of
tell me
course.
it exists. Please tell me it exists. I'm not going to lose
All right,
one
we just
hour
saw
of my life.
Oh, we just saw her. It's great. So, hey guys, we're at the Firebird segment.
Yeah,
We're talking
with the
about our.
bear toss going.
Oh, teddy bear toss.
Oh yeah,
That's
the
what
little bear toss. Yeah, we are the
back on
out here.
track.
We are the Coachella Valley Firebird AHL affiliate of the Seattle Kraken, and of course, it's really the AHL teams are an extension of the roster of the NHL teams, and our players go up and down, and it's a different configuration. But it's really exciting to watch AHL. Unfortunately, we've been having some struggles at home, but we always enjoy this amazing community involvement and what the fans do. Take a look at after our first score, what happened in Thousand Palms.
What's happening, Coachella Valley? Your Coachella Valley Firebirds for the first goal of the night for themselves. Teddy bear toss at the Acrisure Arena.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? That was a whole lot of fun.
You know, the best shot, of course, you can only throw in certain areas because the rink has net around it. And as a result, you can't throw them from the goal side, and you can't throw them from the corners either, of course, because they get stuck in the net. I think we had a few people actually try to toss a few into the net just for fun. Everybody's looking for some creativity in the bear toss. But usually it's coming from the middle, and it's kind of fun when you film it from one side of one goal or the other, because then you can see them both, all the bears kind of flowing in at one time. But you imagine 26,000 bears, and we just saw maybe 1,000 come on the ice, and it just keeps going. I mean, it's minutes long for just the bear toss alone until the arms get tired and most of the bears make it onto the ice.
My arm got tired. I mean, I filmed the whole thing. It was over 15 minutes of bears.
There you go.
I have clips on my phone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I was in the corner, and like that was a funny problem because for the whole time you had to look behind you because you're getting clipped in the back of the head by bears. I saw one guy lose $30 in drinks because he got hit with a bear and just the beer fell, and the guy next to me looked at me and I'm like, yeah, it was $30 right there.
Well, I'm glad you clarified it was just one beer that he dropped for $30.
Sorry, Acrisure.
Sorry, Acrisure. We know you
actually, it's 32 for two. So there you go.
Yeah. I do want to point out too that all of these bears go to, as we mentioned earlier, Craig, fire department, CHP, sheriff's department, and when these people make calls as first responders to domestic violence and accident scenes and fires in homes, the officers use these with great success with the kids. So there's a year-long feel good that should come with this that I want to make sure that everybody understands.
Yeah, and that now makes sense why they were on the ice. Yeah,
there was an highway patrol car. Yeah.
Yep. Because at first I'm like, why are they on the ice? And then I remember this is how we distribute these bears. So
that's right.
Did we have some people say hi to us?
Yes, we did. Let me go back to it. So Jennifer says that she loves our videos and enjoying her hockey and appreciating us. Leonardo gave us a shout out, some love. We appreciate him very much.
Cheers, Leo.
There we go.
And moving
What do we got
on.
next, boys?
Moving on. Geez, the Firebirds play tonight at Acrisure. 7:07 puck drop with the San Diego Gulls, the Anaheim Ducks affiliate down there along the coast. So should be a fun one tonight.
And then you and I will be there, Ed. Who's shooting for us tonight?
You, my friend, Mr.
That's
Charlie.
right.
Yeah, I just put in your parking passes for you, and you've been approved to shoot for tonight. It's so exciting. I know it's so fun. You'll be getting your equipment. You'll be getting your equipment ready. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's hoping you shoot and score.
I hope so. I wish I could shoot and score from the concourse level, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up to the boys, but I'll definitely get them getting their goals.
I've seen your pictures. You generally do score. I love your
thanks,
photography.
man. I try. I really try. I certainly love to shoot, and it's a
So
pleasure
after
to shoot
after San Diego tonight, the Birds are in Tucson Friday night to face the Roadrunners, and then a New Year's Day tilt with the dreaded Calgary Wranglers up in Alberta. They actually play Calgary twice, both Monday and Tuesday, January 1st and 2nd, before we head home, and we bring down the Abbotsford Canucks for a back-to-back pair of games on Saturday, Sunday, the 6th and 7th, and that's way too many S's.
Yeah, we've talked
6th
about
and
this
7th of
before, these
January.
back-to-back games.
We'll see if we can improve.
Yeah, and these are tough teams. I mean, Abbotsford came twice already here, and they were tough Tillies. And obviously, we remember the Wranglers. That was basically the finals, but it was just the Western Conference finals.
Yeah, Abbotsford played one game down here December 13th. It was a Wednesday night, I believe. And we played a pair up in their barn the weekend before. So we saw them 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then one last item on Firebird Talk, if nobody has any other stuff, is the Seattle Kraken play New Year's Day outdoors in the NHL Winter Classic. So that's New Year's Day in Seattle. That'll be fun. The Birds are in Calgary the same day. Grubauer, Seattle's starting goaltender at the beginning of the year, who was injured, went on injured reserve, is now off injured reserve but not ready to play yet. So we don't know if we're going to see Joey, Drieger, or Grubauer for the Winter Classic. We'll have to just all tune in and see how that game goes.
Do we? I know we had talked off air about Stezka and LaFontaine and Morris and the wonderful job that Jack and Kale did in Stezzy's absence. Do we know if either of them went back down to our ECHL affiliate?
I have not seen whether anybody has been moved back to Kansas City.
Yeah.
LaFontaine was injured in the Tucson game about a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Stezka was injured the week before that. And I was shocked to see after LaFontaine got hurt, Stezka dressed in relief in an emergency backup type position.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stezka started the last game. So who starts tonight is anybody's guess. But if you're in Kansas City, allow all of us in the Coachella Valley to send you our gratitude and thanks, because we have all your goalies right now.
Oh, yeah. And
because Seattle has all of ours.
Yeah.
That's true.
Stuff just rolls downhill.
The Firebirds, obviously the AHL teams have this to deal with every single year as they're an extension of the NHL rosters. And of course, we've we have a couple of our goalies that played for us last year and this year not playing for us. They're up in the big league at the NHL, and several of our players that we won with last year that took us to the Calder Cup are not playing with us. So the mix is quite different. And as we all know, when it comes to like quarterbacks or pitchers, goalkeepers are such a significant aspect of the hockey game. So we're needing a little bit of help at home, Charlie.
Yeah.
Bring some luck tonight, would you?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. You know, we love our boys and we try and make them look as good as we can. So you know, especially under the help and direction of Mike, the lead photographer for the Firebirds. You know, we love our access at CoachellaValley.com, and we're very happy to, you know, be able to participate. So
second
all
year,
luck we can.
Second year of the Firebirds, and second year for Coachella Valley Media Group being able to get out there and cover it. Not only are we able to shoot it, do some videotape live broadcast, we get to write about it, and of course get to share within this segment here on the North American Hockey Authority that you're watching, presented by Today's California. Got Ed Heathouse, AHL, Coachella Valley Firebird official, and of course our favorite Charlie, engineer, producer, with his hands up. And I'm Craig Campbell, and I already said that probably a few times to you. You know what? Are we going to continue on past the Firebirds, or have we finished up? Yeah, with the Firebirds, or any more that we want to share about them? You know,
I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's your favorite thing. I think we're at point counterpoint, aren't we? Are we thinking about discussing a few things at this point? A few things in our mind? What do you got for us? What are you going to put out there, Ed, that we can debate?
I'm going to be honest. I'm looking at the show clock at 36 minutes, and I'm thinking we just dive right into Peeve of the Week and wrap a great big bow on this present for our viewers.
All right. Well, you know what? That's your segment. So take it away. Ed's Peeve of the Week.
And thanks, Jennifer from San Diego.
Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate you sounding off and talking to us.
Thanks, Jen. You know, we had a Peeve of the Week coming into the show, and the pre-show meeting just kind of went into a sideways discussion about whether or not players should participate in the picking up of teddy bears after 27,000 teddy bears have hit the ice. And I am going to start this off, I guess, by saying what a great outpouring from the community. And we've already discussed what a great thing it is for all of our first responders to have that as a tool in calming a young child. And I think that the Firebird players in particular, shoveling the teddy bears, picking up the teddy bears, putting them in bags, showed a great deal of their love for the community, their respect for the fans. And also, I think it kept them moving around and kept the joints warm, kept them limber. But there are some competing ideas with that, aren't there, Craig?
Oh, I'm not saying anything. It's your peeve. That would be point counterpoint. Not peeve of the week. Peeve of the week is just you, all you. Here's my thought on it.
Out to dry.
No, I'm gonna give you my thought on it.
It's all good.
Well, no, that would have been point counterpoint. I got a little confused, but
you're correct.
I do.
I mixed up my.
No, we're all good. Here's the thing. I'm going to respond to you. You know, it is an amazing thing to do, the teddy bear toss, and the anticipation for that first goal is so ever present. Everybody is so ready to absolutely, as you saw in the video, explode. They just, first of all, some of them bring 20 bears and they just want them off their bodies. They've been hanging on to them. They're like, they got to get rid of them. First period goes by. You're like, really? I mean, the worst thing that can happen in teddy bear toss, the very worst thing that could possibly happen is a shutout.
Correct.
So if you went all the way through overtime and lost the game and didn't score, you're taking your teddy bear home. That's not true.
Well,
Actually, they
No,
leave them.
there's no
They
way to
leave
do that.
them, but just think about, not only do you get lost and you feel crushed, but you don't even get the opportunity to have enjoyed tossing that bear out. So the first thing I would tell you is it's really a lot of fun. The fans are in total anticipation like a spring. And the minute that goal goes in, I mean, bears are flying everywhere. And as Charlie said, it was 15 minutes long. So the only challenge or aspect of it that we were contemplating or discussing is the fact that there not only is it 15 minutes of bears being tossed, but then you have 26,000 bears that actually literally get collected. They're put in the back of vehicles, driven off, or in some way taken off. And in this particular case, most of the players are still skating around for both teams, trying to stay warm, like you said, trying to keep their minds active. It's a long time that they're trying. And then the minute it's over, they're right back in the middle, wherever it was in the period, and playing. So
It was
this is
like
difficult.
there was
My
like 18
thought was,
minutes and something left in that period, so they had a whole period to go through after being derailed. I think that's a really interesting point.
so what the challenge, at least in my mind, is sometimes when you're seeing the Firebird players who are absolutely gracious and they're doing, what is in their heart and soul, and obviously have permission to do it, but they'll participate in actually collecting bears. They'll pick them up. They'll bend over. I mean, I saw them bend over, 20, 30, 50 times, right? Picking up bears, going through this process, putting them in the thing, dragging a bear here or there. So the question really is does this diminish in some way the players' focus, thoughts, maybe even conditioning when it comes down to it through a season with these extracurricular activities? It was just something to throw out there in a counterpoint to discuss. So that was my thought on it. What are you thinking, Charlie?
I guess as you expounded upon that point, I was more worried about, the not exhaustion, but you're bending down 20 times. I mean, go do that right now. Go pretend to pick up the morning paper 20 times in a row right now. And I mean, it's not, it isn't and these guys are in great condition. However, I saw Stezzy was working the game, right? So I saw him in all his goalie gear, toss his gloves and the stick on the ice, and was slipping on some of the bears because he can't exactly see his skates, and it's it's not the most graceful equipment that you could be wearing. Sorry.
Hey.
But
makes you look bigger.
From a bit, because at the end of the day, this is a business, which is kind of a weird thing to say. This is a fun sport. I love every aspect of that, but you can't discount the fact that I'm sure that there are some higher ups who are like, we don't want them touching those things at all. But I guess on a very for me personally, I would be like, yes, please pick up the bears. But I can see again why people would not want, especially for lack of a better term, from a business standpoint, be like, we don't want the liability of either one of our players getting hurt somehow, however that would happen. But also, as you had mentioned, I think off air, it was only the Firebirds players that I saw picking up bears. It wasn't our opponent.
Yeah, the opponents were collected together. I saw them discussing maybe strategy. I saw them comfortably making loops and laps and things. They weren't bending over. They weren't in mental process. And I think maybe it's the length of time. It's not so much that they pick up the bears. It's the 15 minutes of bear toss, and then I don't know how long it took, but I'm going to say it took at least that, if not twice as long, to clean the ice up. So irrespective, it's a change up in the game, and both players have to deal with it. And I'm not sure how it affects people, but when you go into overtime and you lose in 39 seconds, you just wonder if one of those first three starting guys on our side maybe picked up one too many bears.
Well, this is
Hey, bear, dinner and a movie? Oh, not that kind of pickup. Sorry.
Just a thought to think about.
And in the for what it's worth department, we have to report the delay that the teddy bear toss causes. On the AHL score sheet, the delay this year at Acrisure was a phenomenal 18 minutes. It was actually, it went by a lot faster than it felt. But ideally, if we're going to talk rules and do a little hockey IQ here, you really want that to happen in the last 5 minutes of the first period or second period, because the home team and the referee can request that the intermission be taken early and that the period be started and tacked on to the beginning of the next period so that the ice can be cleaned up, resurfaced, fans can circulate, and then you can go back at it.
Wow. So is there a certain time limit under which you can do this? Because obviously, like when we had it, there's 18 and a half or so minutes left.
Right.
You can't just have a 40-minute period.
Right. Couldn't do it. But if you remember when we were in Tucson, the goal occurred with I want to say 3.5 minutes left. So both teams hit the locker room. Mm-hmm. And when they came out to start the second period, they stayed at the same ends on the fresh ice, played that 3.5 minutes. The buzzer sounded. They took a minute to rest, changed ends, and then went right back at it and did the second period.
Wow.
Huh. Well, this game went into overtime, so it ended up extending, quite a bit on every level. And just in all fairness to the media people as well, officials, all of us, it makes for long games. We're there early, preparing, setting up. I'm very excited about it. I'm just bringing some nuances to all of us, because we're all there, waiting, watching.
One final chirp of the day to Craig. I love you, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
Was 39 seconds.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't very long.
Well, I'm just saying it probably wasn't that huge an inconvenience.
Well, you have not only do you have that, but you also, the game ends, and then you have that break, and then you're back on overtime. So when you think about it, the extension's way beyond the 39 seconds, unfortunately. And it just makes for long games. You have 20-minute periods, you have breaks in between. You have also ice crew that conditions the ice throughout play. Hockey games are quite a long time. Game started at 6:07 puck drop, and I think we were well after 9 before that game ended. And so we're close to it. 3 long hours out there on the ice. It's a long time period, but they're used to it. And I'm really talking about over the series of a season. Do these things add up? Not maybe collectively in that particular game, but over time. Do the extra promotions, do the extra things, the outings, do all these other activities ultimately matter in the Calder Cup 7th game overtime? Does it matter at that point?
And you brought that up a number of times, and how much extra media spots and meet and greets and all sorts of other things that the Birds were under direction to do, not only probably from the Firebirds front office, but probably also from the Kraken's front office.
Yeah, as an inaugural team, you're having a new arena, and you're trying to teach everybody that they're there. And as a result, one of the best things to do is to bring your players out to meet and greets and autograph signings and different things, or maybe they're even featured at a particular place or event, and they're out all day or night or whatever. It's very hot here too, so when you're outdoors doing things, it's warm, and that's not a joke. I mean, that's a real thing when you're on El Paseo Drive, standing out maybe for 2, 3, 4 hours in the sun, greeting people. And of course, we did a lot of that, like you said, the inaugural year. I haven't seen quite as much of it this year. Maybe I'm just not paying attention to it as much, or I'm more used to it. But it seems a little bit less than it was last year.
I will say that final push, especially during the during the playoffs, there was just so much. We were inundated with things, and yeah, I guess that's probably why. Like, I also think that I just haven't seen as much, but I have been seeing a lot more from their social media groups. The work that Kyle and Mike are doing. So they've been, I think, focusing in other areas in terms of pushing the team. Because I think what they were doing last year, I'm probably wrong, but it sounded like they were working on the local fan base, and then this year seems more of an outreach through outlets that otherwise you wouldn't see unless you were online. You're not going to be in Chicago, where I'm from, and see the Firebirds unless they're playing the Wolves, and
Right. One of the things that you're seeing more and more is teams mature, they move on to more years, you have more charitable or other community involvement or corporate involvement that you're starting to see come in more and more and more, and the awareness of the Firebirds being made in that capacity. Maybe less of that the players having to get out there. Although those players seem to be very available, and they themselves are doing podcasts and doing fun things and special things. And I know the Firebirds, it seemed like last year had a lot of videotapes, taping of the guys. Haven't seen so much of that. Maybe that is also happening, but then I've been sharing some of the filming duties with you and Megan this year. And so maybe I'm also just not seeing it quite as much. 3 games a week, I'm doing 1 game a week, or we're sharing the load. And that's been really great. I really appreciate that, Charlie. I'm so happy that you get to go out there tonight. It's so exciting. There's just something about it. When you get down there and you can just feel the arena fill up, you get in, it's a little chilly, but as people start to get in, it warms up and the energy level begins to increase. And they, of course, love a camera. There's nothing better than.
And we're getting more in tune with getting fans involved in this so that they can see themselves and we can share that excitement.
Fan photos. Who doesn't love a fan photo? Yeah. People will send a photo of me from time to time, and I always love it. It always surprises me. It gets in the inbox. Usually it's the back of my head, but I'm still pretty happy about it.
It's good. I'm glad that people at least enjoy to a degree, what we're trying to provide. That's the end goal. That is always the end goal. And hopefully we get a good game from the boys tonight. I know that, much like this being at the arena, I'm really looking forward to some of the other events that we'll be covering. And it's just been such a wonderful thing to see this valley sort of continue to blossom. Hey guys, look at that.
Hey, Dave, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Always out there, our number 1 fan, always happy and excited. I'm always happy to see you. We should have you on the show sometimes, Dave. I think it'd be a lot of fun to have you join us. So we're going to work that out if you're interested, and you can come on and share that enthusiasm with the entire community. What do you guys think about that? We should have Dave on the show, right?
Oh, I would love that. I mean, we've been discussing in our pre-meetings. Thank you very much, Dave, again. We've been discussing in our pre-meetings having guests. We're working out the logistics with their schedule, like Megan. But Megan is an absolute nut, and she works all the darn time. So, we have intentions of getting some of the Firebirds people involved, and I think we'll wait to see how we can make that happen, and we will. We've obviously now done 2 shows remotely, even though we are all back in the Valley right now. I think proving that has made the big difference for our brand of show, and I'm very excited for that, because that will allow for us to have guests and allow for it to happen on their terms.
We were talking, the only thing that's sad is our post briefing parties that we have when we're done, because when we're finished and you have all those endorphins because it's so exciting, you're done, and you're dissipating, and we usually, the 3 of us, do that together, and it's been such a bonding experience. We sit outside on the golf course and watch the other birds that are visiting hang out, and we talk about random things, and it's really been a very important thing in my life, and I appreciate it. And I think about that during the holiday season here. We have a New Year's Eve coming up, 2024. It's unbelievable how fast this year has gone by. Think about COVID being almost 4 years ago. It's just hard to even fathom. But so excited to be able to do this. So excited for the Firebirds and letting us be able to participate. Of course, the Peter Puck and you guys with such a collective IQ. I'm just barely hanging on.
Stop.
Hey, you know what? The first time I skated, my mom took me to the ice skating rink. And unlike Ed, I lost my teeth on the very first time I
Ow.
skated. So mom let go of my hand. Yeah, that's that kind of mom. And down I went and off to the dentist I went. And my teeth
Actually,
are pretty good now. Luckily, they were my baby teeth. So,
oh,
but you know what? I can still feel it. Then on top of that, if that wasn't bad enough, she made me do lessons for like 2 years.
oh, oh my.
I hated ice skating.
It's not the lessons that are bad, Craig. It's the fact that you had figure skates on.
I was gonna say. See, I always had hockey skates. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm
Maybe
sorry,
that,
I've been quiet for like 8 minutes. That's just been building up.
yeah, maybe you're right. Is that what it is? The blade's just too thin? Do the hockey skates, are they thicker?
Completely different type of blade.
You can actually stand on them easier? Is that what you're telling me than the ones my mom put me on?
It's just
What was she
different.
thinking?
What
Here you
shade
go,
of
son.
pink
No
were they?
problem at all. Get on these things. Go.
Yeah. I mean, the way that they taught us was they'd have like, you remember those plastic mold formed chairs from like a grade school cafeteria? They'd put that on the ice, 4 steel pegs on the ice with coasters, and you grab onto the back of the chair, and then you just shuffle your way until you figured it out.
Like pushing
Yeah, that would help.
Gertrude around.
Yeah,
That would
it was
help.
great. It was an incredible help. I mean, and it wasn't, I always led with my face, so I was always running into situations. So after about 30 seconds of that, I was just taken off. And yeah, hockey skates are made a little bit different. The blade is a little bit different than a figure skate, so it would feel much different.
I grew up in Washington, D.C. area. Of course, there was ice skating, and outside, the ponds would freeze over, and it was something that you would see often. After I lost my teeth, I thought, well, I've already done what I need to do. So I decided I'd try another sport, get my head banged in maybe with a little football, maybe get my shins kicked in, ankles tossed off on soccer, and maybe a few broken fingers and a strained ankle in basketball. It's much better.
Much better.
All right, guys. I hate to be the negative Nelly, but I think we're rambling and running out of time here.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys sticking around and joining us. You are watching the North American Hockey Authority. I am joined by Ed Heathouse. He is the AHL off-ice official for the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Charles McPike, he's a credentialed photographer, videographer, broadcaster, reporter for the Firebirds. And I am Craig Campbell for Today's California. And you know what? We've really enjoyed having you guys join us. Thank you for the comments. We appreciate the interaction. Whether you're watching this now or later, make sure you put some comments in there and we will follow up. If you have any questions at all, let us know, and we'll also do that as well. Yes, long-running show, a little bit longer, but I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with you guys.
Absolutely.
And once again, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys next week.
Happy New Year, y'all.
See you in studio.
Celebrate safely. Don't drink and drive, and be good humans.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you later.
See you later.